What's going on, guys? It's time for a little rant session. So, when I went up to Atlanta for the C2W and I Am Ramekin meetup and hanging out with all those guys up there, everything was all fun and dandy. Had a great time. It was amazing. On the way home, I got pulled over on 75 in, I believe it was Tift County, Georgia. My freaking key is digging into my thigh in my pocket. So yeah, I got pulled over in Tift County, Georgia, and it was for speeding. I was on 75 going south, heading home. And at this point, I had already been on the road for, I don't know, 4 hours, maybe? 4 or 5 hours, something to that effect. So yeah, I was cruising down the highway doing 89 in a 75, which, yes, I admit I was speeding. It is what it is. I mean, I kind of wanted to get home. I was trying to make good time, and I got pulled over. So, you get a ticket. It's not the end of the world. I've gotten tickets in Florida before, and I've had some pretty hefty fines, but I've also had some pretty hefty speeds. And when the cop pulled me over, he told me, he was like, oh, it's a good thing you weren't doing 90, because if you were doing 90, the fee jumps up to something like $700, which I was like, what? $700? That's outrageous. The ticket I had for going 14 over was already $240, which was outrageous enough in its own. So, so I get this ticket. I'm already kind of bitter that I get this $240 ticket in a state which I don't live in. And I was, from where I was pretty close to the border of Florida. So the immediate thought that crossed my mind when I saw his lights come on was, dude, I should just fucking book it. But I was already kind of running a little low on gas, so I didn't want to really, run the risk of running out of gas while in a police chase. So I didn't do that. Plus, I just typically I don't like to run from the cops anyway. I am a law-abiding citizen, so I don't really feel the need to have to run away from the police. I mean, granted, yes, speeding is not abiding by the law, but, I don't have like a criminal record or anything is what I mean. Holy shit, it's windy. I haven't worn my Variant in a while. I've been wearing my AGV Corsa or my Shoei. And this thing feels like a freaking block of cement on my head right now. Plus with the GoPro strapped to it on a windy day, I kind of want to murder myself right now. But I felt the need to get this vlog out, so I digress. I get the ticket, the guy pulls me over, I go home. A week or so passes, and I'm really busy. Once I get back to Miami, I have tons of work to catch up on. I got a lot of things going on. I had a really, really busy schedule, so I really wasn't able to do a whole lot. And typically in Florida, what happens when you get a ticket is in the mail, you're going to get a fuckload of, or at least in Miami, I can't say the rest about the rest of Florida, but in Miami, there are so many traffic ticket lawyers that you're going to get an abundance of letters in the mail saying, hey, let us go to court for you. It's only $79. Or, hey, let us go to court for you. It's only $75. Or, there's so many of them competing for your business. And basically what they do is you pay them the $75 or $80 or, whatever the fee is with the firm that you go with, and they go to court for you. And so long as you don't really have like a crazy record, they usually guarantee no points and either like a really reduced fine or no fine at all. And then you only pay the $80 or whatever it is. That's it. And I've done that before, and that's basically how it's worked out for me. I pay that fee for that lawyer to go. They go represent me. I mean, it's super easy. Like down here, they make it such an easy thing. Well, I'm not from Georgia, so I don't know their laws. I didn't get anything in the mail for lawyers for Georgia. Oh my God, this guy's just cutting over. And truth be told, I mean, I could have gone, online and looked up attorneys in Tift County, Georgia, but I was just so busy with work and everything. I didn't have time to sit there in front of the internet and look up lawyers and then call law offices to see who's got the best price. And I didn't have the time to do that. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna pay the fine, $240. It is what it is. I'll be done with it. So I go online. I pay the $240, thinking, all right, I'm done. That's the end of it. Like a week later, I get another letter in the mail saying I owe another $200 because of my ticket. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe this was sent out because it was sent out before I paid the fine or something like that. It was already taken care of. But apparently that's not the case. See, what happens in Georgia when you're going over a certain mile per hour over the speed limit, if you pay the ticket, paying the ticket is the same as admitting guilt. So you're basically pleading guilty under the eyes of the court. And by pleading guilty, what they do is they now assess another fine, and they call it the super speeder fine. And they say, okay, well, you admitted guilt, so we're going to assess you as a super speeder, and we're going to hit you with another fine, which I don't understand how in the fuck that is legal. How is that, ethical? How is that lawful? I paid my fine. The fine was assessed to me. They told me, yes, you're going to owe this amount of money because you were doing the wrong thing. I paid my dues, and now you're going to hit me with another fee? How the fuck is that lawful? And furthermore, I started doing some research into this super speeder fine. And to make matters worse, because of the fact that I paid the original ticket and now that I'm considered a super speeder, first of all, if I don't pay the fine, my license will get suspended. Then, basically I have no choice but to pay the fine at this point. It's not like I can take that to court because I've already admitted guilt. But the worst part of it is, when you get that super speeder, it shows up on your record as a criminal misdemeanor. A fucking criminal misdemeanor. That shows up on background checks when you go apply for jobs. I don't have a criminal record whatsoever. My record is, clean as a whistle. I am actually applying for jobs in the medical field, and now I have this fucking criminal misdemeanor because I had no idea that Georgia had some stupid law where you get considered a fucking super speeder. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? I was so fucking pissed off. I was livid. Absolutely livid. So basically the moral of the story here is, fuck Georgia. More particularly, fuck Tift County, Georgia. Now I gotta deal with this BS because they want to just decide to throw another fine on me, just because. I've never heard of any other state doing something like that. So how am I supposed to know about a super speeder law when I don't live in that state? So if you get a ticket in the state of Georgia, it would behoove you to, take the time and look for an attorney and have an attorney go to court, because from what I understand now, had I actually done that, the attorney can usually get the fee whittled down, as well as the miles per hour that they say. They can get it just under that super speeder amount, so that way you don't get hit with that additional fine. So yeah, if you do get a ticket in Georgia, definitely look into a lawyer.